I'm going to tell you 5 questions I guarantee will show up on your BCS Foundation exam. Now, not the exact wording, obviously, that changes with every exam, every sitting, but the concepts behind these 5 questions appear on literally every BCS Foundation exam I've seen, including the one I did. So if you walk in without being solid on any of these, you're going to struggle. And let me show you exactly what they are. So before I start, a quick bit of context. I passed the BCS Foundation certificate first time. I've also sat and passed 3 BCS Practitioner exams since, all on the first attempt. I've looked at hundreds of BCS Foundation questions across specimen papers, mock papers, past exam dumps, and my own Foundation Pro question bank. These 5 concepts that I'm going to talk about come up every time. If you drill these, you're picking up easy marks before you get to the harder scenario questions. So the first one is stakeholder analysis using the power interest grid. I can guarantee this appears. BCS loves it because it tests whether you understand different management strategies. The 4 quadrants, high power, high interest, is managed closely. High power, low interest is keep satisfied. Low power, high interest is keep informed. Low power, low interest is monitor. And again, if any of this sounds weird or foreign to you, go get the textbook. You're not ready to do the exam. Here's the trap though. The BCS is going to give you a scenario with a stakeholder described in detail and ask you which strategy applies. The classic trap usually is confusing keep satisfied with keep informed. Remember, this is the key bit, keep satisfied is for high power people you don't want to get on their nerves, you don't want to annoy. Keep informed is for low power people, but you want to keep them in the loop. If you see a senior director who doesn't care about the day-to-day detail, that's keep satisfied, not keep informed. Lock that in. The second one is the difference between functional and non-functional requirements. This is on every single exam because it's fundamental and candidates often mix them up. They mix them up constantly. Functional is what the system does. The system must allow users to reset their password. That's functional. Non-functional is how well the system does it. So the password reset must complete within 5 seconds. That's non-functional. It's specifically performance related. The trap here is they'll give you a requirement that sounds functional, but actually describes a limitation or constraint on how well something performs. So an example would be the system must be available 99.9% of the time. That's availability, which is non-functional, even though it starts with the system must. The rule of thumb here is if you can test it with a yes or no, it's probably functional. If you need to measure a number, it's probably non-functional. Question 3, investigation techniques. Which investigation technique should the BA, the business analyst, use? This appears as a scenario question in almost every sitting. The one BCS loves to test, and again, BCS loves to test all of these. Interviews are for detailed info from key stakeholders. Workshops to reach consensus among a group. Observation to understand how work actually happens. And questionnaires for large populations where you can't interview everyone. The trap is they'll give you a scenario like the BA needs to understand how 400 call center agents spend their time. And the wrong answer there is going to be interviews. The right answer will either be activity sampling or questionnaires because 400 people. The other trap, and I've mentioned this before, is activity sampling versus special purpose records. Both are quantitative. Activity sampling is you observing. Special purpose records is the user recording their own work. Different answer, same scenario. 4th, business case structure and investment appraisal. This one's straightforward, but people lose marks because they don't memorize the structure. A business case includes executive summary, current situation, options considered, analysis of options, the recommended option, implementation approach, cost and benefits, risks, and assumptions. They'll give you a scenario and ask which element is missing or what should go where. investment appraisal techniques. So we've got payback period, discounted cash flow, internal rate of return. You need to know the difference. Payback period is simple. It doesn't account for the time value of money. Discounted cash flow does. Internal rate of return is the discount rate that makes net present value zero. The trap here is they'll describe maybe a company evaluating investment and ask which technique accounts for the time value of money. The wrong answer here will obviously be payback period. The right answer is going to be discounted cash flow or internal rate of return. Last but not least, question 5 is process modeling, specifically the difference between as is and to be processes, and the notation, more importantly, that's used. So that's swim lane diagrams, decision points, actors, tasks. So they're going to give you a description of a process and ask you to identify the actors, the decision point, or what type of diagram would be most appropriate. They may also have event response models for the middle level. So event response models for the middle level, SIPOC or value chain for the enterprise level, UML swim lanes for detailed level. The trap here is mixing up the levels of the process hierarchy. Enterprise level shows high level value chain stuff. Event response is your middle level. Actor task is the detailed swim lane level. Now those 5, stakeholder grid, functional versus non-functional, investigation techniques matched to scenarios, business case, and investment appraisal, process modeling notation. Now, disclaimer, I'm not promising that you'll get the exact questions I've just described. That's not how BCS works. But these 5 concepts appear on every exam I've seen. So drill them, know your traps, you'll walk in with 5 marks in the bag before you've even read the first question. If you want 210 more questions like the ones I just went through with full elimination logic, Foundation Pro link is in the description. You can also grab the free exam traps guide while you're there. The link's below. That's it for now. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.